Over the years, we've seen the Indian domestic circuit producing international legends. But while it has produced international legends, there are some domestic stars who just faded away. Hello and welcome to Republic World. Our guest today is an IPL veteran. He's played for two popular franchises, KKR and RCB, welcoming Sheldon Jackson to Republic World. So Sheldon, as I mentioned in my introduction, that you are probably one of the biggest domestic legends of our generation. But unfortunately, you didn't make it to the Indian side, the national side. Any specific reason behind it? Do you feel the selection, the style of selection by the BCCI is a little, maybe a tad bit unfair, maybe? Because you had a couple of damn good seasons where it seemed like you could actually have a breakthrough season, make it to the Indian team. But then that did not happen. What do you think? What do you have to say about that?
To be very honest, yes, I did have a few very good seasons in the domestic circuit, and all of them happened in a line. But where I honestly feel that either that this is what I read and this is what I understood, is that I never did exceptionally well in the IPL. So if I would have done well in the IPL, wherever and whatever chances and opportunities I got, then both the performances complement each other, the domestic performances as well, and plus the IPL performances. So then what happens is, that the people who are concerned with selection, the administrators, the management, whoever's, concerned with selection, they get a lot more confident in you. So I feel, yes, I did very well in the domestic circuit, but if I could do not a little, a lot more better in the IPL, then maybe things would have been different.
Sheldon, you've been a part of two very popular IPL franchises, KKR and RCB, a little more in KKR. So let's speak about KKR. Let's talk about Shreyas Iyer. I found it pretty surprising that a captain wins you the trophy and then next year he's released. How do you look at this?
To be very honest, I guess we all were surprised, right? When he was released and till what amount they bid for him. I thought they could have bid a lot more for him. He's a proven captain. He's a proven performer over the years, and he deserves to get what he has got from another franchise. But to see the other side to it, like the people sitting on the table on the auction day, they had certain plans. They had a certain budget set for him, but he never fit in that budget because everyone knew that Shreyas Iyer is going to be one of the most expensive players ever to play the IPL, and that's what's happened. So I don't really know why, and I don't really know, to be very honest, how, but I honestly feel, and I strongly feel that Shreyas Iyer, he deserves this amount because he has proven himself, but he surely should have been in the KKR setup and as a leader as well.
You think it's a big loss for KKR?
That only time will tell, to be very honest. But I personally do feel yes, because now it has left KKR, in search of a captain. Now they have various options, to be very honest. They have Ajinkya Rahane, they have Venkatesh Iyer. You may be surprised they even have Sunil Narine, who, according to me, whatever time I have spent in KKR, I have found Sunil to be very, very good when it comes to captaincy. He understands the game a lot more better, and don't be surprised, if he may get the call to be the captain. But at the moment, yes, now they have to figure out, that out of these 4-5 players, who is the best who can lead KKR on the field this year.
When you see from a distance, you speak about Sunil Narine being a captaincy choice, but when you look at him from a distance, you feel that he's relaxed, he's chilled out, he does not bother about the game and all of that. But we are so wrong when we think like that, right?
Yeah, we are very wrong, because I have shared a lot of personal time with him. Yes, he is relaxed, he's chilled out, and maybe that's what you want from a captain, right? To have a control over his emotions. Because if he can control his emotions, the rest of the team, the rest of the squad are very relaxed and chilled. So I honestly feel like amongst the 4-5 names that we discussed about or that we gave, I think Sunil Narine stands out, and he has been leading other Knight Rider franchises around the world. And I still say this, and I strongly say this, that he has a very good understanding about the game. And out of all the games that KKR is going to play, it is very certain that Sunil will be a part of all, wherever or on whatever wicket. He gives you 4 overs, he bats on the top. What more do you want? And he's been a part of KKR since inception.
Yeah. What more do you want from somebody? I found it pretty bizarre. KKR actually went for Venkatesh Iyer and they actually spent so much. So in the first place, I felt why couldn't they actually hold on to Venkatesh Iyer previously at the retention itself, so they didn't have to shell out more extra money. What do you think about the Venkatesh Iyer pick?
It's good, no, that he's earned a lot of money.
No, that is absolutely perfect that he's earned so much.
To be very honest, a cricketer's career is very uncertain. One injury over here and there, and your career ends. I'm very happy that he has earned this amount of money because he deserves it. He deserves it. He has been a proven performer for KKR.
No, Sheldon.
Yeah.
Sheldon, my point over here is the fact that when he was there in your plans, then in that case, why didn't you retain him in the first place? You could have saved some money.
Yeah, okay. So coming back to your point, he's an international, right? So who all did they retain? They retained Sunil.
Right.
They retained Russ.
Right.
They retained Varun.
Right.
So that's 3. They retained Rinku.
Right.
And they retained Harshit. So their retentions are done over there.
Right.
Now there must be some doubt in the mind of the KKR management that if they put Sunil, Russell or Rinku into the auction, they might not be able to get them back.
Right.
So Sunil offers you 4 overs, that's on top, wins you majority of your matches.
Right.
The same thing is with Russell. Now you see Ramandeep and Varun, they have been in tremendous form for whatever little they have played before coming up into the auction, right? Before all these strategies were to be made. We all have seen Harshit Rana.
Right.
Before, when he was retained, he was not a capped player then, right? So that they had the best uncapped bowler. So that could have been one of the reasons why they never retained Venkatesh Iyer. They thought we may be able to get him back into the auction I'm not saying at a low price, but at a very reasonable price.
Fair enough.
Because the auctions are so unpredictable.
Exactly.
You don't really know. And we have seen it this year, right? We have seen it this year that they have been great performers, not only for your IPL franchise, but for your country as well. But they have not gone to what they expect or what they deserve.
What I understand over here, Sheldon, is the fact that now that you paid so much for a guy, invariably he becomes your captain because you will have to play him in all the matches now. So, also if you go by all the reports that are doing the rounds on the grapevine, it suggests that, Venkatesh Iyer is the first choice to become the captain of KKR. How do you look at it? Because you also threw in another name over here, Sunil Narayan. And also you have to take into account there's the fact that there is a Ajinkya Rahane, who's a little more experienced, has captained teams in the past, the national team as well. So you would also be tempted to, depute him as the captain of the side. So what, coming back to your question, what I understand of Venki Mysore is that he's a very, very intelligent man. He knows what he's doing and how it's going to turn out. There are talks, as you're saying, that that because Venkatesh Iyer is gone in for so much of money that he can or he should be the captain. But they must be seeing it in another way, that what value he adds to the team, not only this year, for the coming years as well. Coming back to Ajinkya Rahane, yes, he is a fantastic leader. I've had the privilege to play with him when he was in KKR before he got injured. His thoughts, his clarity of decisions, his leadership quality is up to the mark. But I still feel and I still say that don't be surprised if Sunil
has been given the responsibility to lead KKR at least for this year. At least for this year. So that's why I'm saying that at the moment, KKR has a lot of doubts. They have a lot of decisions to be made. But being a part of that franchisee for so long, I know and I believe that the people who are responsible to take these decisions, they are very, very intelligent people.
Perfect, perfect. You know, who's that? Because you know the KKR setup very closely. You've also seen the squad that's going to feature next year. Who's that one player you would have your eyes on? Sheldon.
So it's pretty difficult.
Yeah, give me a surprising name, like even I'll be taken aback, that kind of a name.
Don't be surprised if Umran Malik does really well for them this year.
Okay.
And the reason I say is that he's very hungry. He has been left out of the national side for quite a bit now. He wants to come back. He thinks he deserves that spot. And don't be surprised if you see him clock the higher 150s, or he may even touch above 160 this year.
But again, with Umran Malik, the problem is, you know, fitness, and also the point that will he actually get to play all the games with KKR? Do you think he'll be getting to play all the games, or at least most of the games next season?
I feel he should be playing. I don't see the doubt coming in. If you have a guy who can bowl consistently every game, every over above 150s, I don't see a reason keeping Umran on the bench. He deserves to be playing. He deserves to be leading that bowling attack, and he deserves, and I'm using this word, he deserves to play at a higher level consistently.
Absolutely. Moving on, you've been in that KKR setup. You've also met Shah Rukh Khan, met him from close quarters. Do you have any interesting anecdotes you would like to share with us about SRK or maybe Gautam Gambhir or the KKR setup? Anybody from there?
See, I've only met Shah Rukh Bhai once or twice, to be very honest, because when I came back into the franchise, it was the COVID era. So I met him once or twice, but he's a very welcoming man, to be very honest. He's very welcoming. And for what he has achieved, the way, you know, he treats you, the way he welcomes you, the way he talks to you, you feel like you still have a lot to learn in life. If a man of that capacity can be so humble and welcoming, then we haven't even achieved 1% of what he has. And coming back to Gautam Bhai, like I've always said that he is my source of motivation. Because when I was there and I was playing under him, he used to be the first man out on the field with his bat and gloves, and he used to be the last one to leave it. We all as youngsters used to say, oh, we are tired this, but that man used to just keep on sharpening his skills, and with which, you know, KKR got those desired results. So if Gautam Bhai had that desire to get better at that age and stage of his life, then I think as a youngster back then, not now of course, as a youngster, when I was a youngster back then, I could learn a lot from the man. Like even that's why I'm saying that even Shah Rukh Bhai, even Gautam Bhai, they have achieved everything in life. Wherever they have gone, they have, you know, just outbeaten others. So as a youngster back then, that's what you can learn, the hunger. If you can manage to keep that hunger every season, I don't see a reason why you can't do well in life. Perfect. So that's one thing that I've learned from both of them.
Sheldon, moving on, you've also been a part of RCB. So, of course, once you've been a part of RCB, you have met Virat Kohli and all of that. What was your first impression of Virat Kohli, even before you met him? And did it change after you met him? How was it, your interaction with Virat Kohli?
My interaction for the first 1 week, 10 days, I just kept seeing him. I really never had the courage to go up and speak. I just kept seeing him, what he's doing, how he bats, how he works, how he, you know, carries himself. I was like just in awe of Virat Kohli when I first saw him. For 10 days, I was just, without him knowing, I just used to be here and there, just trying to keep an eye on him, you know, like, kya kar rahe, how he's batting, how he's fielding, how he approaches a practice session, how he approaches a match. Because when I got picked for RCB, it was 2012. That was just my first year in first class cricket that I actually started playing. So I had a lot to catch up. I had a lot to learn. And I always give Virat Kohli this credit, that once I went into the RCB setup and I saw him up close and personal. And that's the time that I understood, that how much fitness matters and how fit you should be actually to play this game at this level. That could be IPL, that could be domestic. If you're fit, anything is possible. And that's why today at the age of 37, 38, I can say that I'm fit and I am playing at least the domestic level, and which by no means is easy. And I proudly say it, that the BCCI domestic cricket is the toughest in the world, and that's why we are getting such good players every season. And even if you see the results of our international teams, they're doing so well that all the credit goes to the domestic level and plus the IPL for sure.
Perfect. One final question. There's this one picture of you with MS Dhoni where you guys are probably speaking to each other. That picture, I was just checking before we got started with this interaction. So, what did Dhoni have to say to you, Sheldon?
Actually, I had a lot of doubts, about my wicket keeping, about my batting. So he was very kind after the match to give me 5, 10, 15 minutes. Actually, the conversation went on for quite a bit even, but still he was very kind, to listen to what I had, to clear a lot of my doubts, like how to keep, how to read game situations, how does he, set those fields for certain bowlers, for certain batsmen, because I was keeping for my franchise at that time, and if I could copy that or replicate that, and if that could make an impact on the result of the match, then I've done my part basically. So I was just trying to pick his brain that like how does he do it? What is the reason that he does it? What are the judgments? How does he stay like this as a human? How is he so relaxed even though our game, especially the IPL, is a very high intensity game? How is he relaxed all the time? And he was so kind, like he took his time to answer each and every question of mine. He was so kind. And that's why I say that the higher you go and once you achieve everything, you become so humble and kind. And we as youngsters and we as who are just learning to take steps in our life have not achieved anything near to what they have. We have still so much to learn from them. So
yes, there you heard it from Sheldon Jackson. He gave us a perfect perspective as to what to expect from the Kolkata Knight Riders in the upcoming season, and also his experiences of being with RCB and interactions with Virat Kohli and MS Dhoni. Thank you so much for joining us in this session, Sheldon. Stay tuned to Republic World for all the latest across sports. Thank you so much.